Thanks to Joe Biden, Mexican drug cartels are targeting Native Americans. I mean, this is wild. This is from the Gateway Pundit. We're gonna talk about what's going on with the drug cartels and how they coming for the Native Americans and using Native Americans. It's just crazy. And this is just the start. This is just the start. This is just everything coming to fruition with the open border policies destroying our country. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. But before we get started, go to hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store. Also, check out jjthepsychotherapist.com. All right, let's talk about this news. The Gateway Pundit reports that Joe Biden's reckless approach to the border crisis is damaging communities across the nation. And this was something that I was just alluding to. I've done several videos about this border crisis for years. For years, I've been warning people that this was going to happen, and now it's finally happening. But in sanctuary cities like New York and Chicago, communities are grappling with increased crime as illegals pour over the border. Now, federal officials are reporting that Mexican drug cartels are targeting 6 Native American reservations in Montana for the sale of deadly fentanyl. According to officials, the cartels can make bigger profits farther away from the southern border, and the reservations have less law enforcement. Marvin Weatherwax Jr., a leader of the Blackfeet Reservation, shared the concerns facing his community in an interview with NBC. And I'm going to play the video in a minute, but quote, he says, "It's as if fentanyl is raining on our reservation." Federal law enforcement officials told NBC News the Sinaloa cartel, one of the most dangerous drug cartels, is targeting the Blackfeet and the state's 6 other reservations with a heavy flow of drugs, including fentanyl. I mean, where's the feds on all of this? Where are they at? They know this is happening. Why aren't they over helping out the Native Americans on their reservations? There's got to be something the federal government can do. Let's play this clip from NBC News.
The Blackfeet Reservation in northern Montana is beautiful and vast. It is also drowning in fentanyl.
The drug problem on our reservation, it's so serious that it's pretty much wiping out a generation. I'll do anything to help.
Marvin Weatherwax Jr. is a leader here. As in many Native communities, addiction has long been a problem. But 2 years ago, after 17 fentanyl overdoses and 4 deaths in just 1 week, the tribe declared a state of emergency.
Would it be fair to say that you're in a perpetual state of emergency right now?
Yes, we are. It's as if fentanyl is raining on our reservation.
Federal law enforcement officials tell NBC News one of the most dangerous of the Mexican drug cartel, Sinaloa, once run by the notorious El Chapo, now by his sons, is targeting Blackfeet and the state's 6 other reservations with a steady flow of drugs, including fentanyl.
What brought you up here?
This man, a member of the Sinaloa cartel, was pulled over for a traffic stop on a Montana reservation.
Are you from around here? Or you got a passport?
Mexico.
Mexico?
Mexico, yeah.
Ultimately, he and 2 other cartel members were successfully prosecuted in one of the largest drug busts in the state's history, including over 700,000 fentanyl pills seized, according to Montana's U.S. attorney. So why are the cartels interested in the reservations over 1,000 miles north of the Mexican border?
Profits are just out of this world.
Until a couple of months ago, Stacy Zinn ran the DEA here in Montana. She tells me on the reservations, the price of fentanyl is high and law enforcement is sparse. Fertile ground for the cartels.
Drugs in other cities are saturated. You have multiple cartels. Well, up here in Montana, it's pretty much wide open space and territory for them to be able to grab.
Profit margins soar the further away from the Mexican border you go. A single fentanyl pill that costs between 4 and 25 cents to produce in Mexico can be sold for 50 cents to $1 in San Diego and over $100 on some reservations here in Montana. And then there's the lack of law enforcement. According to a former federal official,
I mean, they are hitting licks out there. They are hitting licks. That's crazy that they're uh, getting that much money.
there are less than 20 DEA agents for the whole state. As for the reservations,
These reservations don't have enough tribal police to protect them. Nefarious people, the ones that are committing crimes, know this.
on the Northern Cheyenne Reservation, the boarded-up meth houses bear witness to what community leaders say is a staggering drug problem. 2 years ago, there were only 19 police officers for the whole reservation. So the tribe sued the Bureau of Indian Affairs asking for help, but no help arrived. They are now down to 7 officers.
I was very frustrated.
Wow, they went from 19 officers to only 7 officers. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if the federal government can do anything to help because it's reservations. I don't know what type of deal they have. I don't know. But it has to be something that can be done to help these people fight off the Mexican cartel.
About it.
Tribal leaders say the effects are devastating.
Have you seen a spike in other kinds of crime?
Sexual abuse and sexual assault.
Human trafficking.
Child neglect.
While the Bureau of Indian Affairs tells us they don't comment on pending cases, Zinn insists more resources are urgently needed.
We are fighting this problem standing on one leg, and half the time we're handcuffed.
She says right now, the cartels are winning. Cynthia McFadden, NBC News, Montana.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated.
And that's messed up that they won't even comment, though. I mean, not even come out and say, yeah, we're investigating or we're doing something to look into this or we're going to try to get to the bottom of this. They didn't say anything. Basically made no comment on it. I mean, that's just, I don't understand. But South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem spoke out recently about how cartels are infiltrating reservations in her state and the devastating impact of drug and human trafficking on Native Americans. She said the war zone at the southern border affects us here at home in South Dakota because the cartels have a presence on our tribal reservations and are devastating our communities with drugs and human trafficking. We don't want America to look like Europe in just a year or two. And that, I remember when she tweeted this out. I remember seeing this tweet. It was a couple months ago. Yeah, a month ago, back in the end of January, when she made this statement. So I'm gonna play the video here.
And I believe they're going to ask South Dakota for more resources. I want to make an informed decision. For me, having as much information is critical to making wise decisions. And we obviously see that the Mexican cartels have set up on our tribal reservations too. So we know that these same cartels that have operations at the southern border are operating and funneling drugs through our tribal reservations and trafficking individuals. And it does matter to us if we have a secure border.
Well, I was going to say, why should South Dakotans care about this? I mean, the border is supposed to be the federal government's deal. I think that's probably what the court leaned on there. I didn't read the decision, but traditionally it's been the Fed's problem, not ours.
Traditionally, but if you do look at what's happening in this country, that it's been gone on so long now, and it's been so many millions of people that it's fundamentally remaking the country. It's a consequence that every state is dealing with, and for us, you know, we see it differently, and see the effects differently than Texas does, but we're still being affected by it. We still have people every year that die because of fentanyl overdoses in the state of South Dakota. That is because of the drug and human trafficking that happens. So it is a real effect to us. And if we want to see what America looks like, if this continues, all we have to do is look at Europe. And I don't think South Dakotans want their lives to look like some of the consequences that Europe is dealing with today.
Facts, all facts, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Look what we have going on right now. We have military-aged Chinese men coming across the border. We have cartel coming across the border. Um, Chinese have different stations, different checkpoints, different safe houses in each state. I mean, we are being infiltrated from our southern border, and our government is doing absolutely nothing about it. The Biden administration is doing absolutely nothing about it, and it's going to get worse. And what I think is, I think people going to be fed up, and people are going to start protecting themselves and don't care, and they're not going to care about uh, what their local laws are or anything, but they're going to protect themselves. They're going to protect their family, especially when they got in places like Chicago and New York, I believe, where they got stringent gun laws where normal citizens can't even protect themselves. I think they're going to be like, screw it, and they're going to start protecting themselves. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.